If those words don't make you happy, you must have food. Look how moist that is. Smut! If after watching this video, you aren't timing your grills perfectly so all the food comes off at the same time, well, that should be illegal. Let's get into it. Today we're going to grill a butcher's standard barbecue meat tray. Cooking time for this recipe will be 45 minutes. Or for those of you who love to follow my beer timer, you're looking at a 2-beer cook. Cheers! I know it's early in the video, but for those of you who've already given this video a thumbs up, I just wanted to say, you're awesome. Walk into any butcher store in Australia and you're more than likely going to see a selection of barbecue meat trays. They can range from the basic with some snags and chops, or some fancier ones normally include a couple of steaks. But most of them will have the standard snags, burgers, lamb chops and some chicken. I popped in to see Mick out at Gippsland Premium Meats and he handed me this 1.8 kilogram barbecue meat tray. For those of you in southeast Melbourne, did you know that Gippsland Premium Meats is now in 2 easy to reach locations out at Berwick and Lynbrook? Seasoning everything ready for the grill is pretty simple. Glove up for your protection. Remove the plastic. The snags do not need any seasoning. You just need to separate them by cutting their umbilical cord. Ow, 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 ow. Do not, and I mean do not, poke any holes into them, or all those glorious juices will slide out. And your snag will shrivel up and dry up, and it will not be moist. Smut! Next up we have the burgers, and this isn't a time to try and get all fancy. We are dealing with some Angus beef here. All that's needed is a pinch of salt to help bring out that beefy flavour. The chicken tenders are already seasoned with a satay sauce by my butcher, so just pop them aside, ready for the grill. Now onto the lamb loin chops. Grab a non-metallic bowl like a glass or plastic bowl because we are using a citrus juice in this marinade for the chops and it will react with metal. Into the bowl add 2 teaspoons of extra virgin olive oil, 1 clove of mixed garlic, 1 teaspoon of lemon juice, 1/4 teaspoon of dried oregano, not oregano. That's a made up name, stop using it. 1/4 teaspoon of dried thyme, 1/2 teaspoon of smoked paprika, 1/8 teaspoon of cumin, 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Mix this up and then add the chops, making sure they all get covered. Remove your gloves and pop these aside while we get the barbecue ready. Sharing is caring, but not when it comes to barbecue on your plate. By all means, share this video with family and friends, but your chop is your chop. Next up, we need to make a salad. Haha, scared you, didn't I? You don't make friends with salad, so stop making them. Salads, that is, not friends. Today, I'm using a 57cm Weber kettle, and I'm pairing it up with a kettle cone and Heat Bead's original briquettes because I want to be cooking indirectly with a heat of 240 degrees Celsius today. How I'll do that is by placing the kettle cone in the middle of the charcoal rack. Then I'll 3/4 fill a chimney starter with the Heat Bead's briquettes, light them up. When they're fully ashed over, I'll dump them into the kettle cone. I'll carefully place the grill back in. I'll then put the lid back on, opening all the vents, and I'm going to let that grill warm up for 10 minutes. If you don't have a Weber and a kettle cone, it doesn't matter. Any hooded barbecue that you can cook indirectly at a temp of 240 degrees Celsius will still do the same job. After the grill has had time to warm up, spray it with some cooking oil. This will help it smoke. It'll also create a non-stick cooking surface for us. We need to stagger when we put the meat on the grill, as it all takes different times to cook. First up, we're going to put the chops on, and then the burgers, leaving enough room for the other food later. Put the lid back on. Our aim is to cook all the food in one Weber and have it come out ready at the same time. Because there's nothing worse than watching food come off the grill and you're waiting on what you want to eat. Timing is everything when grilling food. Hence why I'm wearing a lab coat, because it's science. If you didn't know, the Weber lid vent creates a hot spot. As the cold oxygen is sucked up through the bowl vents up and around our fuel, it is then forced back out through this lid vent. So to ensure an even cook, I recommend turning the lid a third of the way every 15 minutes during the cook. Did you know it costs absolutely nothing to subscribe to this channel? Apart from the energy you're going to have to use to click the subscribe button. First spin of the lid, and it's time to add the rest of the food. Just placing the chicken tenders on the grill, followed by the snags. The chops and the burgers still have plenty of cooking time to go. Place the lid back on and we've still got another 30 minutes of cooking time to go. The high heat created by the kettle cone is why we need to turn the lid, because it creates a super hot spot under that vent. And if you don't spin it, well, your food's going to be unevenly cooked. The food's all cooked, but how do we know this? By using an instant read thermometer. The mincemeat products like snags and the beef burgers need to be cooked to an internal temp of 74 degrees Celsius. And so does the chicken, to be classed as no death chicken. To check the snag's internal temp, just put the probe into the tip. We just want to get everything off the heat now and serve immediately. And because we staggered the cook time, everything's cooked at once. Therefore, we can serve everything up at the same time. These chops are mine. I just wanted to show you how moist these are. All that's left to do is make up a plate and enjoy.